My father hated hippies. At least that is what one would think from listening to his tirades against their unkempt appearance and questionable morals and musky odor. As a child of the 60s with a desire to at least look like my peers, I was frequently on the receiving end of his outspoken displeasure with the counterculture movement. My father was a commercial fisherman. He was born in Norway in 1917, the eldest of 5 children. My grandfather, Johann, died in a whaling accident in Antarctica when my father was 10. So my father went to work to support the family, working on farms until the age of 16 when he joined the Norwegian whaling fleet and became a ship's captain in his early 20s. He was in Antarctica at the start of World War II and when the German army occupied Norway. He took his boat to Newfoundland, joined the U.S. Navy, and because of his maritime experience was sent to officers' training, and eventually became a lieutenant, married, and after the war moved to Seattle to become a commercial fishing legend. My father built up a small fleet of trawlers and a fish processing company on a downtown Seattle waterfront pier, but by the late 1960s he was down to one boat, the Paragon. Built as a 98-foot wood halibut schooner, the Paragon was converted into a stern trawler with an aft net reel just outside the galley door. My father was one of a handful of experienced Washington trawl fishermen. In the late 1960s, my brother and I, and even our older sister, would work on the boat during school breaks. The hippie movement spawned many communitarian social experiments. One such movement in the Seattle area was the Love Family, also known as the Church of Jesus Christ at Armageddon. Founded by Paul Erdman, also known as Israel Love or Love Israel, as a religious hippie community, they purchased some real estate and eventually began to prosper. They acquired assets, including a fishing boat. I first heard of the Love Family from my father, and to be sure, it was not complimentary. To an active, conservative Christian, they represented a tragic degradation of modern society. So I was surprised one day to find my father down on their old dilapidated boat, teaching them how to operate the engines and machinery. Courage Israel, the vessel master, and his crew had little experience on boats, and even less experience fishing. Over the months of preparation for fishing, my father was the only fisherman who helped the hippies in their new venture. Despite being competitors, he taught them how to operate their vessel. They had little money, even for necessities, so he gave them gear, parts, and whatever else they needed. Sometimes he would instruct me to go to the galley, prepare a box of food, and bring it to them, as they were hungry and lacked money for groceries. He sold them one of his very expensive nets. The terms were simple: pay when you can. When their boat was ready, they followed us out the Strait of Juan de Fuca and onto the fishing grounds of the Pacific West Coast. They set out their net where my father told them, and they hauled it back when he said to. Over the months of fishing, they were our shadow. The next year, the Paragon burned to the waterline and sank at sea. Fortunately, all hands were rescued. This event created an opportunity for us to venture to the Bering Sea and embark on long and storied careers as Bering Sea crab and trawl fishermen. I don't know how long Courageous and his crew of hippies fished, but several years later, a letter came in the mail. It was from the Love Family. It was a check for the net they had purchased, paid in full, with interest. Now my father is a hard man. He does not display emotion. But as he read their letter of gratitude for his help and held the check in his hands, tears formed in his eyes and he began to weep openly. He didn't need the money. He was a wealthy and successful Bering Sea crab fisherman with 2 large steel crab boats. The check meant more than money. I don't know if he even cashed it. It was a token of integrity and gratitude from people he loved and selflessly served.